Hello Steve. Hello Jill. It's time to game classy.
There you go. You feeling awake?
Huh?
You feeling awake?
Oh, yeah, I'm good. I don't have the grogginess, even if no matter how little or much I sleep. Like once I'm ambulating, I'm not groggy.
Once you're ambulating, perambulating.
Whatever.
Isn't that what it is?
I thought it was ambulating, but I don't actually know.
From Teen Titans Go. That's the only reason I remember. It happened, guys. You know, the once a year Steve forgot that we were recording day.
I didn't forget.
You forgot.
Someone else forgot.
Oh, throw the blames. Throw the blames.
I have the Facebook message to prove it.
Oh, okay. Is it to Cole saying like Joe's coming, wake me up?
No, it's on
wake me up before you go.
It's because it was from Friday.
Oh, okay.
It was not.
No, I know that we were recording today. That's why I'm here.
No. The message I sent the message on Friday.
Oh,
so that's why it was forgotten.
Cool. Oh yeah. Yeah, I have a very tight schedule today. I have to go waste 2 hours of my life watching Justice League in a little bit. The movie looks terrible, Steve.
I heard from someone who was not a fan of Batman vs Superman or
Man of Steel,
Suicide Squad, that it was better than both of those movies.
Well, that's not setting the bar very high.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of I don't fucking care. I don't care about comic movies.
I'm going with Kevin for Comic Book Logic, and we have a checklist of things that will they say these, which is like, that's what I'm talking about.
They're not going to say that.
He's standing right behind me, isn't he?
Zack Snyder directed it, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to say that.
No, you don't think so?
No. Zack Snyder is known for a lot of things, and super cheesy dialogue is not one of them.
I don't know.
Not super cheesy dialogue like that. No way.
This movie looks kind of bro-ish to me.
There's no way.
Like, even the one female character they're going to have is kind of bro-ish in this movie. Yeah. Something always that. Oh, by the way, I wanted to yell at you about making me watch the Mist TV show. You didn't make me watch it, but you planted the thought in my head. That show is terrible. It's goddamn terrible, and I watched all 10 episodes of it. I was just like, this show has to get better somehow. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it was pretty mediocre.
It had such a great such a great concept. Hey, remember the movie The Mist in 2007? It was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was a great movie. It's fantastic, really moody and everything. You know, that entire town gets shrouded in this mist. So why don't we go to some of the other parts of the town and see what happens there? Oh, that's a great concept. That's really easy to do, right? Am I wrong?
Yes, they fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So,
although the last part, when he fucking just like when he's driving away
and he drives into the
and he
mall.
looks back and he just backs him in the wall, that was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool.
that was like, yes.
Well, I mean, on top of it too, it's like, hey, Steve, you know what you want to watch? A 10-episode metaphor for rape survival. How about that?
No, I just like there was, well, the biggest flaw with that
it's because they didn't do monsters.
They didn't do monsters. They did.
Oh,
like,
yeah, absolutely, 100%. They didn't do monsters.
They did like a weird with the sole exception of the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. That was pretty cool. But it's like, why is the Mist making things that you like? Why is it like personally attacking? It should have been fucking horrible Cthulhu monsters.
Yeah, well, I mean, and it's not even like the Mist from 2007 had horrible Cthulhu. I mean, there was some Cthulhu monsters, but I mean, like the giant insects and spiders and crap.
Well, there were the horrible Cthulhu monsters you never saw. You just saw the tentacle.
Well, you saw them like walking over, like
right.
Like,
and the one kid the one tentacle monster totally kills that one kid.
Yeah.
In the very beginning, but you never see it. You just see the tentacles, and they're acidic. Like that was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
that's Cthulhu-esque. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Hey. I take no responsibility for this. The first episode I was like, the show seems pretty cool, and then I finished it and I was just like,
Well, I mean, one of the things, like, so immediately after watching it, I was like, fuck this, I'm gonna watch the original Mist. So I popped the original Mist in and I'm watching it and I'm like, I haven't seen that movie probably since 2008, right? When it came out on DVD. Like when I bought the DVD was when last time I watched it, or Blu-ray. I don't remember what I got at that point, but so I'm watching it. I have a rip, and it's just the fog comes in so quickly.
Oh, yeah.
It's like no one has a chance to do anything.
Yeah.
And that's what's amazing about it.
Yeah, the
And
movie's
it's
great.
so quick.
The movie's great.
And then you got Jeffrey, was it Munn? The guy, the old guy from Walking Dead, who's like running in and goes, "There's something in the mist.
Oh, yeah.
There's something in the mist." And you're like, "Oh, this is great!" Just boom goes.
Yes.
And it's got Andre Braugher from the Brooklyn Nine-Nine in the Wire. He's in it too.
High octane. It was a very good movie.
It's not even high octane. It's just slow burn movie. But God, does it keep you going?
The beginning of the movie is fucking crazy though. There's just
With
like
the storm.
There's like shit going on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as soon as the mist rolls in, it's boom done.
Yeah.
I dug it. I dig that movie so much, and it's like it's so easy to do a TV show based off that.
They fucked it up.
Yeah,
that's what. The show is not renewed.
10 episodes, $23 million to do 10 episodes, and they fucked it up. Like you could give me and you $23 million dollars, and we'd be like, well, what do we do with all this
monsters.
money?
Let's get some monsters.
Steve would just be like, let's get to Guillermo del Toro and make us some monsters.
Yes, I would do that.
Yeah.
That would be step one.
Yeah.
Call up Guillermo.
Call up Guillermo. Be like, hello, Steve. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Guillermo. Can you make us some monsters?
Yes, I can.
Thanks, buddy.
And they're all just like hand monsters with like penis wings.
There was some cool stuff, but
That'd be
like
cool.
overall it was like, and then the weird thing, or the one of the things that was very awkward was the like inconsistencies of its own rules.
Oh yeah.
Like, why did the mist suddenly start melting people? Like, that was really weird. Like when he was moving his brother through the hall.
Oh yeah,
his brother's like melting. Like that was really fucking weird.
Yeah, it didn't.
And like if the mist was melting him, like if that's what it was doing to him, why did it then like produce leeches? Like,
yeah, well, and why would it produce like a snake to do this, or the four horsemen of the apocalypse? It was like, is this psychological? Is it physical? Like, what the hell's going on?
Right. Well, the one dude, they started to explain it a little bit with the doctor. He's like, you know, something.
Oh yeah.
He was like, I've been putting people in the mist and like figuring, like seeing what they do. She's like, you know, like the lady was super happy to see her dogs, and then they ate her. Like that. Like was it the show? And that's the biggest crime of that show is. I actually don't think it was terrible. I think it was extraordinarily painfully mediocre. And because the premise is so good, the movie it's based off is so good, and the show itself did have a few like sunbeams going through the cloud, like, ooh, that's cool.
Well, yeah, I mean,
moments, it makes it all the more painful.
Well, I mean, like, one of the great things that I thought was like, okay, so the show's going to be a rape metaphor, for rape survival. I'm like, okay.
I didn't get that from it at all.
What the hell are you talking about?
I didn't get
it. Is all about victim blaming.
I didn't think there was really a
slut shaming.
I didn't really think there was a metaphor if you make it.
Oh, it's
like,
not even a metaphor. It's an allegory. The whole thing is a metaphor.
I mean, I don't think it was a metaphor if that's like literally a plot point, though. It's
no,
like,
no. It's an allegory. That's what the entire show is about. It's all about like all of those things that are associated with rape survival. It was like blatant as day, and I'm watching. I'm like, oh my god, I can't watch 10 episodes of this. I mean, I could get it if it was like a subplot that was about it, but like the entire show is about it. But yeah, but I watched the original, which is funny because Thomas Jane, star of the original, is, you know, from The Punisher, and now Punisher's on Netflix. So I've been watching Punisher. Have you seen that yet?
No.
It's not great. Hey,
I don't know. I don't even have Netflix anymore.
Steve, when you think The Punisher, what do you think of?
Frank Castle shooting the shit out of people.
Yes. What else do you think of?
Frank Castle getting fucked up by like big giant dudes and like having to perform like really gross ass grody surgery on himself in like a fucking warehouse.
Awesome. What else do you think about?
Explosions.
Awesome. Yeah, exactly. What else?
A really very small rogues gallery because Punisher kills them all.
Oh yeah, like a bunch of like crazy villains and stuff like that.
Jigsaw, Barracuda. Barracuda's cool.
The Russian.
I think he technically fights the Kingpin, but he never kills him. It's like it's a terrible villain to use against the Punisher, really.
Yeah.
Guns, lots of guns.
So how would you like to?
And what's his face? Not Data. Micro.
Okay.
Micro.
Okay. So let's take everything that you said except Micro and throw it out.
Man.
That's the Punisher TV show.
Wow.
Everything that you didn't want. I'm like watching. I'm just in a crabby ass mood because a bunch of like pop culture shit has just been shitting all over me. It's been like a diarrhea of pop culture that's just been shitting on me, and I've just been in an angry, shitty mood about it.
The thing I watched most recently was Zeta Gundam, but it's from the 80s. So
Yeah,
I don't think it
really
counts.
No, but I mean, I'm watching Punisher, and they're talking. I'm like, there's so much great like modern day stuff that they could talk about in this show: gun control, vigilantism, right wing politics, all of this stuff. Because technically, Punisher is kind of a right wing wet dream. You know,
dude, dude. They're like, if someone's walking around wearing a Punisher shirt, I'm just probably like, you probably voted for Trump.
But I mean, even so, like, and that's the funny thing on top of that too is that. Like, okay, so let's talk about like the crazy neo-Nazis in Virginia or wherever, South Carolina. Well, they're probably in Virginia and South Carolina, but even still, like, you have them. Punisher wouldn't be with them. He wouldn't be like white power and all that stuff. He'd shoot the shit out of them.
Yeah, that is accurate.
Yeah,
but you can project people project themselves.
Well, exactly.
But just like Dirty Harry, like there's like super like Dirty Harry's kind of an asshole, but he would still probably shoot them.
Yeah. So you have all of this cool stuff that you can explore with this TV show, right? Punisher is not a very deep character, but there's lots of things that are in like the Punisher makeup and
he's violent Batman.
Yeah, he's violent Batman that you can explore and do fun things with. And they're like, hey guys, remember in Afghanistan when they did some like prisoner torture back in 2004? Yeah, in Kandahar. Let's talk about that. And I'm just sitting there going like, fuck this. Punisher I watched like 6 whole episodes where Punisher killed 2 people.
That's really bad.
That's fucking terrible. Like, the first episode, I was like, okay, I could see where they're going. This is kind of cool on this stuff. It's like a really piss-poor Homeland is what it is. Steve's joking.
Wow, just kind of on some coffee. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a poor man's Homeland. The TV show with Claire Danes.
I haven't seen that, but
or it's a high-end Quantico, which is
Quantico.
I love Quantico. Quantico is one of those shows that I can always point to as like, this is a show that dumb people watch to feel smart.
I've never even heard of it.
Like Jag.
Big Bang Theory.
No,
I thought Jag's audience was mostly the elderly.
well, I mean that's kind of like Quantico is too.
I see.
Like, hey, Bernice, we gotta sit down. Quantico's on.
Jag's on.
Jag's on. We gotta watch NCIS.
I just love the fact that there's a
Los
show
Angeles.
named Jag.
I know.
Like, I know it's a something.
It's an Air Force
It's something
thing.
Attorney General.
Yeah.
It's because it's for the Air Force. It's like Air
Yeah.
Force crimes. But like the show's called Jag.
Who knew there were so many crimes in the Air Force that it dedicated like 8 years of episodes to it?
Apparently there are a lot.
Go Castle! Castle's cool. Oh, Castle also had like the young people who were like obsessed with Firefly and they're like, I gotta watch everything Nathan Fillion's in.
Nathan Fillion.
Apparently he was like a dick on set too.
On
He
Castle?
he seems like such a nice guy. Well, I just
I don't know. I guess like people are. He might not be nice to work with because every person I know who's met him says he's super nice.
nice. Well, yeah. Well, apparently,
So
like
he might just be a dick to work with.
the woman he was working with, Stanya Kadik, something like that. She's a weird ethnic name. Apparently, like they couldn't get along on set. Like they just hated each other.
Okay, well, I mean that's different. That doesn't mean he's a dick. It just means that they had friction. So like they don't like each other.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Which is probably really rough. That's why like in the Super Mario Brothers movie, why there's actually so little scenes between
Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo.
Yep. No. They liked each other. Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo are totally fine. Like they totally like.
We're totally fine.
Well,
Bob
yeah.
Hoskins is dead.
It was Bob Hoskins and Dennis Hopper.
Oh.
Like, they fucking hated each other. That's why there's so little scenes with Mario and Koopa. Like, there's
You know
so
how you get
little.
along with Dennis Hopper back in the 1980s? A giant bag of cocaine.
I don't know what it was, but they like there's
Maybe Dennis Hopper.
The two of them like going
snorted
at
all
it
the cocaine.
was legendary. Like they were like they both almost like quit the production like in mid filming like because of each other multiple times.
Imagine what that could have saved us.
I love that movie.
That movie is terrible.
I love that movie. It is so funny and fun.
It's
I
not
love that movie.
funny.
It's funny, not intentionally. It's funny like
Wow.
Troll is funny, but like the fucking the little Goomba heads when they're dancing in the elevator. that movie, I love that movie. It's so fucking weird.
Remember
and,
they're
like,
all walking around like, and it was
dude,
such a bad movie.
the dystopian like weird ass Mad Max. That's why it's so great because it's like some weird like the people who directed it like they thought they were like directing this this magnum opus. You could tell like they were just like, we're going to give the Mario Brothers gravitas.
It's actually there was I know Super Mario Brothers had a female director. If I'm not,
it was a married couple, if I remember correctly. I think I'm pretty sure it was. I think pretty sure it was a married couple.
Yeah, Annabelle Jankel and Rocky Morton.
Yeah. But no, I liked that movie. I've always liked that movie. I have a soft spot for it. Now, Double Dragon, that's not a good movie.
You don't like Billy and Jamie Lee?
Bimmy and Jammy. Bimmy and Jammy.
Where they do like that really cool like high five with the fist.
Yes,
and that. Yeah.
where it's a simultaneous fist bump and
a
high
hand
five.
Yes, it is. No, they don't. No, because the fist goes into the high five.
Right.
So
It's a fusion. It's putting them together.
It's the greatest like high greetings since the Top Gun. Yeah, the over the top miss and slap behind. Or the thing, the Boys of Summer.
But yeah, no, flat out. The Mario Brothers movie is not a good movie. I still love it. It's so fun.
I mean,
the music's great.
And to bring it back, it's like The Punisher, the original one with Thomas Jane. It's like
also fun.
It's better than you expect it to be.
Absolutely. Everyone talked about how shitty that movie was, and I was like, I'm gonna watch this movie. It'll be bad. And I'm like, this movie's not that bad.
Well, I mean, in hindsight, it's not terrible.
It's a generic 80s action movie.
Yeah, except it was made in 2005.
Sure, but that's what it's just.
You can't make that. If you look at the movies that came out at that time, it was like Iron Man, The Dark Knight. It's like you're like, oh, that's why that movie
was it really that old or new? I thought it was way older. I thought it came out in like the 90s.
No.
I mean, still a totally solid 80s action movie, whether or not it came out in 2005 or not.
2004.
Okay, still a totally solid action movie.
Yeah.
Wait, is that The Punisher with Thomas Jane, though?
Yeah.
Oh, I was talking about The Punisher with Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, the one with Dolph Lundgren is terrible. It's not even good on an 80s standard.
Oh, no, that movie was solid. Solid 80s.
No, because
like... The Thomas Jane Punisher is like... good and terrible at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it's
the Russian fight scene's great.
Well, and there's I have
him dragging John Travolta around the parking lot.
I'm sorry to people who listen to Comic Book Logic because I also go into this on that podcast. But I mean, one of the things that you don't do with Frank Castle is you don't explain his background. Is like there's some like he was the reason his family was killed. Like they do that in a lot of the Punisher stuff. Like, oh, the reason why your family was killed is because
his family was killed in Crossfire.
Yeah, his family. It's a brutal accident, and it has absolutely nothing to do with him.
Right. It broke him because it was fucking. It had nothing to do. Like they were just bystanders.
Bystanders, exactly. It's a random act of violence, and he gets caught up in it, and that's why you can't stop. Like he has no motivation to stop killing because it doesn't matter if he kills the people that
There's
kill.
no revenge.
There's no revenge.
It's just you kill everyone.
Exactly. So like. When they do that in the TV show, I'm like, these people have never read a fucking comic book in their life.
The best is in the movie with Thomas Jane. It was like not only do they kill his like immediate family,
they kill everyone
he's related to at like some fucking party.
You know, it's like Roy Scheider's his dad, and it's like, how you doing this, son?
And it's John Travolta's like machinations, like,
it's like I'm gonna kill this guy. Frank Castle's entire family's after us.
The Russian scene is great, and when he's dragging John Travolta through the parking lot on fire, also great.
Yeah, that's pretty good at the end.
Those are the two good parts of the movie.
And you're like, the fire's gonna make the Punisher symbol. The
And
fire's gonna make the Punisher symbol, and it does.
That was a trope in the early 2000s with Daredevil making the giant double Ds
with Joey Pants.
Joey Pants.
That movie's not as bad either.
The fucking electric nachos fight scene with him in the park is pretty bad.
That's terrible.
It's pretty bad.
But you can Affleck was a pretty decent Daredevil. I'm not going to argue that.
I think there's just like there's a level of like really like it's a hard thing to make a truly terrible film. Like I cannot sit through this movie is pretty hard. Like that's like Catwoman.
Yeah, Catwoman is terrible.
I can't.
Judge Dredd was that bad.
Judge Dredd was funny though. Like
no, Judge Dredd had no humor.
Rob Schneider.
Yeah, but he wasn't funny in it.
It was a thinly disguised Rob Schneider vehicle.
Well, yeah.
Dredd, you got to help me out. I haven't seen Judge Dredd since it came out when I was a kid, but I remember
I watched it earlier this year for Comic Book Logic, and it is fucking terrible.
I remember it did give us several really good quotes, like "I am there."
It's not even a good quote. That's
great. You got to do Stallone voice and just say Judge Dredd shit. Yes, it's obviously not not a good Judge Dredd movie.
It's not a good movie.
I don't know. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I liked it as a kid.
Well, yeah. I mean, even as a kid, though, I'm watching.
It wasn't good Judge Dredd because I used to read a lot of Judge Dredd. Like, I was super into Judge Dredd at the time the movie came out, so I was like, yeah. And after I watched it, I was like, that really wasn't like Judge Dredd at all.
Are you enjoying the fact that America is slowly becoming Mega City 1?
Finally. We just got to get those street judges.
Yeah. Well, that's what the right wing wants in America is street judges. It is a right wing dream.
I mean, technically, don't the police already act like street judges?
Duh.
Topical humor.
Are we right, America? Yeah. Do we have actually any gaming news to talk about? We had Necromunda and
I played
Shadespire. Yeah.
You
finally got to play?
I played Shadespire.
It's a fun game.
It's a really fun game.
It's not a great game.
I am.
It does not feel Warhammer-y at all.
I mean, that's fine. It's a board game. It's a competitive board game, which it definitely feels like.
Yeah.
Well, competitive card game was really more like it.
Yeah, there's
it's like cards and dice.
You know what it kind of feels like to me? You remember, you've played Spartacus, right? The combat mechanic in Spartacus?
I have not played Spartacus, but I've observed people playing Spartacus.
It's a lot like the combat mechanic in Spartacus. Very similar.
Yeah. I really like it. I think as more and more warbands come out, the game will just get better and better and better. I think the cards right now are a little uneven. There's some cards that are like, wow, this card's great, and other cards are like, ugh.
How are the... So I had a thing on this, and you actually have the undead and the orcs. Mm-hmm. Orcs. So they're generic cards that they come with. Mm-hmm. Are they different than the generic cards that come with? Okay, are they better or worse, or like are they a must-have?
You could use, like, I think there are some cards from the base set that are very good for both skeletons and orcs, and other way around. I think like if you're gonna play Shadespire and you want to play competitively,
you have to buy every.
You have to buy everything.
Yeah,
you have to get everything. You have to treat it like it's a living card game. Like from any of those, like you have to.
No, I think that's important, and I don't think that people are being told that.
Yeah, like you need everything if you want to be competitive.
So for the first time ever in the history of our podcast, we're actually giving people some good gaming advice.
If you want to be competitive, you need to buy every warband. Like that's just the way you need to buy everything for it. That's just the nature of the beast because it's card based.
Yeah, I mean you get some pretty sweet figures.
Right, the figures are awesome, and the warbands all play differently. Like they do a really good job of like capturing a different feel for every warband. Like the Stormcast felt like Stormcast; they were fucking slow and tough as shit. And then the Corn Boys felt like Corn Boys; they were really fast and aggressive. And of course they were squelched like wet paper because they're just wearing pants.
Yeah, I mean the Corn guys against Stormcast. It's like you either have to team up 3 versus a Stormcast, or you get smatted.
Yeah, or you have a whole bunch of blessings of corn on a guy who then becomes great.
Yeah,
which it's very. I thought it was very flavorful. I think it was.
I don't know. It's like it has a decent.
Like, to me, it felt very flavorful. Like, it was like the Stormcast are like individually super strong. They're like already great, and their ability to level up is simple. They're just like, oh, I defended, whoop, like I defended with a critical flip. And then Korn felt very much like they're aggressive, but they're not like super great until they start getting like blessings of the Blood God, and until models dying. Like models dying is like gets the ball rolling for Korn.
Because you have to wait till Korn doesn't get good till turn 2, and even
it's like your model's dying and your opponent's model's dying are good for you.
Yes.
which is, I thought that was very like mwah.
Yeah, I mean, as a game, and I think I've said this on the podcast before, it's a great game.
It doesn't feel like Warhammer.
No, it does not feel like Warhammer at all.
That would be like if they managed to make a small like couple figure game feel like Warhammer, that would be amazing. I don't think that's a thing that you could do.
What about Mordheim?
Yeah, but Mordheim's a skirmish miniatures game. Shadespire is not really a miniatures game. It's a board game.
Well, yeah, it's a board game.
So I mean, like, it's really hard to get, like, it doesn't have the stat line.
There's a stat line,
but it's not the stat line.
Yeah, no, it's not the.
It's not the stat line.
Well, I mean, the stat line has changed for Age of Sigmar.
Still, it's not that stat line either.
Yeah,
there's no parts of like the standard Warhammer, which I think Shadespire is improved for. Like I think Mordheim was held back a little bit by the fact that you used the standard fantasy stat line.
No, Mordheim was held back by the fact that you were using D6, which is terrible for a skirmish game.
Yeah, it should have been D10s
or D3.
I don't think any game uses D3.
I know, but D3 is really quick and simple.
Well, that's actually
Shadespire uses D3. Yeah, it actually makes a lot of sense that way. But yeah, the Shadespire, it's not. I'm interested in seeing where it's going because now you got Skaven coming out. That could be interesting.
I can say that the game is very popular. There's a lot of people getting into it, and people who don't do miniatures games are getting into it. So.
It's a hit for GW right now,
Yeah, which is good.
I know Fire Slayers are coming out soon.
Yeah, they should be really good. They were one of the best armies in Age of Sigmar too, so I wonder how good their unit is going to be. Because that's the other thing. That's like the other like double bonus is every warband is a like Dogs of War style regiment of renown.
Fucking awesome
for Age of Sigmar.
I was really wondering how they were going to do that, and a lot of people are speculating like, oh, it's going to be like each person's going to have like an individual character or something like that. Nope, it's like
regiments of renown.
You want to take them for your Stormcast army? It's a 3-man team.
It's Steelheart's team.
Yeah, it's 100 points, and it's okay. If you got an extra 100 points to spend somewhere. Right. Toss them in. I think the Orc one is going to be used heavily because if you're playing Ironjaws, most of their choices are 180 points. And with Ironjaws, Warband is 60 points. So I think there's going to be a lot of lists that like are easily like, oh, I only have 60 points left. Yoink. Just like slide those in there. Yeah.
So that should be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's
and the skeleton models are amazing.
Yeah,
they're super fucking good.
Yeah, I think
they might be they're definitely the best undead that GW has made. There's shades of Rackham in them.
Shades of Rackham? What are you talking about? That's pure Rackham.
No, they aren't as chunky as the Rackham skeletons were.
Well, the Rackham skeletons were a little bit bigger than that,
and they had like beefier armor.
They're so French. They're singing the Marseillaise as they're walking around.
They don't have the. They don't have the. When Tim lost to the French in painting, when he came back, I played that for him.
I was there that day.
Were you? Oh, okay,
yeah.
Good.
I should convert them up to be like wearing French colors.
Nice.
Like instead of spears, they're carrying like big French flags.
Baguettes. Get little wheels of cheese for their base.
I don't know. You have to have like a stinky cheese for French.
Well, yeah, just get a wheel of like Limburger or something.
Well, Limburger is that's British and
whatever.
Yeah, you have to get like a
what stinky cheese do fucking French people eat?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I know.
Is it what's?
I'm not like up to date on my. I know like my Italian cheeses. I know my British cheeses. I just a blue. A blue I know is I think Danish or something like that, but whatever. Or whatever. Our
brie. What about brie? Brie's French. Isn't brie
but
French?
brie isn't stinky.
It can be.
It can be.
So just give him wheels of brie.
Okay.
Give him brie and baguettes.
Yeah.
It's good enough.
It's good enough. I love blue cheese. I can eat blue cheese like nobody's business.
I haven't had.
It makes my stomach hurt so bad, but I love
blue
it.
Cheese in a really long time.
Oh, it's so good.
I like blue cheese. I got nothing against it. Just I haven't had it in a really long time.
I love the stronger the cheese, the better. That's kind of what I had.
I had Limburger not too long ago, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, people give Limburger a lot of shit.
Well, everyone was saying I heard oh, this Limburger smells so bad. And it's barely smells.
Well, it smells like blue cheese is what it smells like.
But I heard it's supposed to be this super like rancid smelling cheese, and I was like, it barely smells.
It doesn't smell rancid. You got to get that. Was it Kasamasu? That they have
is it the maggot cheese?
The maggot cheese.
I'll pass on that one. Thanks.
You're not gonna eat the maggot cheese. It's pure protein, man.
I'll pass on the maggot cheese.
Pure protein.
Pure protein, and I believe also banned by health authorities. So
well, I think it should be banned by health authorities.
I'm gonna
really.
pass.
Yeah.
Because you know what, eating insects is okay and eating cheese is okay, but if there is something that combines those two things and health authorities are like, you can't eat this, I'm gonna pass.
Oh,
because that means there's something very specific about that.
To me, it's like I think that you could make it in a very controlled environment to be like, and it would be amazing. However, it's like the whole thing is that the maggots eat the cheese and excrete the cheese, and that's what supposedly gives it its unique flavor, which is fine. We do lots of stuff works like that, stuff that we can't afford because it's very expensive, but. Where are the flies coming from? That's the thing. Like, are they coming just from flying outside? Because if they're flying outside and they got some poop on their finger, on their little feelies, and they're landing on my cheese, I don't want that.
Yeah.
But if they're in like a controlled environment where it's like the maggots are put onto the cheese and things like that, I'm okay. Like, let's do that.
Yeah, it seemed that's a little like, and I wouldn't shy away from trying bugs. Like, I've eaten bugs before, but like,
and also the reason why it's banned too is because the maggots jump. and they'll jump onto like in your eyes and shit while you're trying to eat it. Yeah,
fucking crazy.
I know. Those Italians, man, they're nutty.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, wheels of
Why is traditional
skeletons.
food, like super traditional food, always horrible? Why? Is it because it came from the dirt poor
It
lands?
came from the dirt poor people. Like, you got to think about it. So Middle Ages, all of the rich people, all they just eat is just meat. So it's like,
and bread.
well, yeah, meat and, well, I mean,
Those giant loaves of bread.
trenchers, because those were the plates. So they would be like, what am I eating today? Ah, a slab of beef. Okay. Or what are you eating today? Like a big thing of fish. So roasted fish. Okay, that's good. And some vegetables. Well, maybe not too much, but some vegetables. That's fine. The poor people had to make by with the worst of the worst shit. So eventually they would come up with like better ways of eating it. So it's still disgusting as shit, but they've actually come up with better ways of making it taste. So the problem is that now in modern day, we have money, like infinitely more money than my great-grandfather would have. My great-grandfather would think that I am like Uncle Moneybags or Scrooge McDuck in comparison to him. He's excited that I have indoor toilets. But so we take the food that he made and we try to make it our way, and it tastes terrible because we don't have that drive to make it taste better because we're not poor,
Yeah, I just wouldn't eat it. I think I'll stick with the McRib.
Stick with the McRib. That only happens when pork prices are down, and they've been up lately, sir.
Well, the McRib is out right now.
Is it really?
It
Ooh,
is.
pork prices are down.
You should go get
You knew
yourself
that, right?
You should go get yourself a McRib.
The McRib only comes out when pork bellies are down.
Yeah, there's like a pricing thing. I like to think of it
The
as
McIndex.
I like to think of it as whatever creature they make the McRib out of, they have to like breed and get a stock up. And then they slaughter it, make the McRib, but they can't keep going. They can't make the McRib year round because then they would drive the creature to extinction. So they have to wait.
They have to wait
for the population.
for the breeding.
Yeah, they have to wait for the population to go back up.
Yeah.
That's the real story.
Oh, I like this theory. That goes into my next question for you, Steve. Do you believe in the Mothman?
No.
Have you seen this?
Yes, there are people who are legitimately like, the Mothman is over Chicago.
I did a deep dive into it on Thursday because I had report card pickup, and no one ever comes to my office on report card pickup. So it's literally a 7-hour day where I sit in my office and do absolutely nothing.
Well, it sounds like you were doing something.
I was deep diving the Mothman. So yeah, a bunch of crazy people in Chicago have seen the Mothman. And for those who are unaware, the Mothman is a cryptid of the United States variety. It is a bipedal creature with large eyes and wings.
Yeah. It's a human-esque body with a moth head and moth wings.
Yes.
That's the Mothman.
Made popular in the Richard Gere movie, The Mothman Prophecies, starring Richard Gere and Deborah Messing.
Yeah, yes. Unlike most cryptids, the Mothman, his appearance...
foretells doom, Steve.
Signals doom.
No, foretells doom. There's a bridge collapse or something in New Jersey. But yeah. And
you moited him.
You know what the experts are thinking that the Mothman is? Are sandhill cranes.
Oh, because they're just huge-ass fucking birds?
Fucking gigantic birds.
I can see that.
I've probably told the story in the podcast about them standing outside my house and be going like to people, just like random neighbors going like, you see these giant birds?
Look at that fucking thing.
Look at the fucking thing. It's huge. And now to most people out in the country burbs, like, because I live right next to Prairie Land, most people out there are like, yeah, them are sandhill cranes. You don't want to mess with them. They're nasty. And I'm a city boy who grew up and the biggest birds were pigeons. I'm cool. Like, you see this bird? Big bird. Big bird. Big bird. Bite me.
Big bird bite hand.
Bite hand. Because I'm an idiot when it comes to a lot of these animals. Like, people are always like, how come you don't have a dog? And I'm like, there's coyotes out here. Why would I want to have a dog that has coyotes out here? It's like, Joe, the coyotes are all over the place out here. I go, I come from a place with no coyotes, okay?
We had a coyote out behind our apartment once. We walked, opened up the back door, and just like coyotes like looks up and it's like, huh, all right. Yeah. What's up, buddy?
We get skunks and raccoons and possums.
Oh, sure. There's all sorts of critters.
All that fun stuff.
We saw a muskrat the other day. It was awesome. He was so cute. His fucking fat little butt was running along the drainage ditch.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of that.
Like, yay, muskrat.
I saw a beaver once.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was like I was like, it's a beaver.
Yeah, there's beavers around here.
Yeah. You know what else they found out here? Alligator snapping turtles have returned to Illinois.
Oh, good.
Yeah, not the regular snapping turtles. Those big ass alligator snapping turtles.
That's good.
Yeah, worst animals ever.
They're definitely ornery.
Yeah, why the hell would we want those in Illinois?
I don't know. They eat things.
Yeah, they're
predators.
Yeah,
they're not like they're only aggressive if you fuck with them. And like if you get
and
bit
you
by,
step on them,
right? If you get bit by an alligator snapping turtle, you're probably doing something you shouldn't.
you probably just stepped on them accidentally.
Yeah, but why are you stepping on an alligator snapping turtle?
Well, it's true. You should not be in any sort of water that's outside of a pool, anywhere,
and
anytime.
And alligator snapping turtles love brackish water, so like. You shouldn't be in the water that they're in.
You should that's what we should do to combat the Asian carp that we got out here. Get some alligator snapping turtles in the river. They would take care of it.
They would eat them.
Yeah. We for our foreign listeners, this has been Illinois Wildlife Hour.
Flora and fauna of Illinois.
Flora and fauna of Illinois. The alligator snapping turtle, which is the closest that we have to Australian fauna.
Yeah, we have some. We've got some fun critters around here.
I mean, we're just prairies, grassland animals.
Well, but the nice thing is because we have such bitter.
We don't have moose
because we have such bitter winters. Like where we are in Illinois, there's nothing poisonous. Mm-hmm. There's nothing poisonous here. All of the things that are poisonous just die.
Well, we had those the recluse spiders.
That's like anecdotal. They're not. They would not. You would not consider our area a habitat for them.
Yeah,
there's just not. It's just like their range can come here, but they would not be considered a native.
I saw a 12-point venomous moose up here.
Oh, hey there.
Oh, yeah.
And the recluse would be closer. Like that's it. It's our area of Illinois because if you go down south where it stays a little bit warmer, you can get some nastier guys.
Yeah, it don't matter. Illinois is not really known for anything too dangerous animal wise.
Yeah, the most dangerous
except for Asian carp. Carp they'll eat the shit out of you.
Yeah, well, I think the realistic most dangerous thing you're going to run into in Illinois is being attacked by Canada goose.
That's true. That's absolutely true. Yeah, the worst import we've ever gotten from Canada is the Canadian goose.
Canada goose. I think they're funny. I like their fat little butts.
I fucking hate geese. They're the worst. They're the worst animal ever, and they're terrible to eat. That's another peasant, rich person food that like is weird and can't be cooked properly.
Goose. I would never eat goose.
It's greasy and really hard to cook from everything I've been told about it.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I remember the Canada geese were like,
bring me the plumpest goose in the window.
When I was in fucking elementary school, I remember I would open up my jacket and just like run after the geese with my jacket open. They never came back at me.
Yeah,
but they came after something.
Now as when you're older, you realize how stupid that was because one could have turned around.
Well, but I realized I was like, I would have learned a valuable lesson if one of those geese turned around, but they never did.
Absolutely. Yeah, I did the Mothman deep dive and it took me to a lot of other cryptid stuff.
My favorite cryptid is the Chinese giant worm. It's like a giant centipede.
The Mongolian bloodworm?
Yeah, that shoots electricity.
Yes, the Mongolian bloodworm.
That's probably my favorite cryptid, I think. It's like, it's got an electric attack. It's a Pokemon. Yeah. It's a fucking Pokemon.
It's the giant sandworm from not Dune, Beetlejuice.
With electric attacks.
Yeah,
it's a Pokemon.
You been to Saturn? I hate sandworms. Right? Yeah, they're fucking terrifying. But the Bigfoot. Do you believe in Bigfoot?
No.
You don't believe in Bigfoot?
No.
I believe in Bigfoot.
Why?
Because I want to believe that Bigfoot exists.
There's no fucking way.
You don't think that Bigfoot exists?
Not a chance.
In the Pacific Northwest? There's lots of the Pacific Northwest that's never been explored.
I think there might be some weird-ass hairy guy who someone saw and thought was Bigfoot.
Is it Cliff? Is Cliff up in the Pacific Northwest?
It was probably Cliff.
Cliff is bald, so it might not be Cliff.
Maybe he was wearing a merkin.
Maybe it's Dave. Maybe it's Dave Max. He's walking around the Pacific Northwest.
It could be. He could be wearing wigs.
He could be. Well, Dave's not bald.
No, I said Cliff.
Oh, Cliff. Cliff is wearing a big long wig, and that's why people think just wandering naked in the Pacific Northwest.
It's just a hat to keep warm.
Okay.
But it looks like a.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So when people see it, I was like, "That's a Bigfoot."
No,
it's a Sasquatch.
I want to believe that the Sasquatch is real. I mean,
no chance.
Oh, come on, not even the Australian Yowie.
If there was
the Yeti in Tibet.
If there was a missing link that was still around that had the capacity to have a population large enough to be observed, and was a creature of that size, it would be discovered. You'd find it. The only time that the only animals that like scientists and explorers like discover, like rediscover or like find, they're always either in extremely isolated areas.
Well, that's the Pacific Northwest is extremely isolated.
People live there.
I know, but
If people live there, it's not isolated. It's like they find them in areas that do not have human population or are.
Have you seen Canada? Like 90% of the Canadian population lives within like 30 miles of the U.S. border. And Canada's the second largest country in the world.
Wasn't Bigfoot spotted in like the fucking like Oklahoma or some shit too?
Yeah, but I mean, you don't necessarily have to count every sighting as real Bigfoot sightings.
No, not a chance.
It
would have been.
I know what the
And you know what? If it was seen in America, someone would have fucking shot it.
Well, that's true too.
Like
that's why it's in Canada.
They would have a corpse. Canadians have rifles. They hunt.
Yeah, but not as much as the U.S.
They would have. They probably would have shot it and be like, "That was a big moose." Oh, you know what? If a Canadian person shot it, they probably would have just eaten it
or apologized.
Good call.
Oh, I'm sorry there, sir. I didn't see you over there. Next time, make sure you wear your orange. That way I can tell.
What a hairy fella you are. Let me get you to a doctor.
We have free health. That's why no Canadian Bigfoots have died. They have universal health care.
They just go and they get their bullets taken out. And they
everywhere
get
else in the
released.
world, universal health care for Bigfoots. And America is the only place where Bigfoot has to remain hidden because it can't afford their U.S. health care.
Yeah, this all checks out.
This all checks out.
I take it back. Bigfoot's definitely real.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Bigfoot's all around the world.
The Yeti.
I love Bigfoot. I truly believe.
You know what else is all around the world? Large furry animals.
Yeah.
Like I think
there's a lowland gorilla up in Canada?
No, it's probably bear.
It's a bear?
Yeah, bears like
big bear. Big bald bear.
Have you ever seen like when bears are distressed or like if they have like something wrong with them, they'll walk on their hind legs a lot.
Yeah.
Like there's that one bear that was really sick that was in not Florida. It was like
well, it would be sick if it was in Florida.
Yeah, it wasn't in Florida. It was in it was somewhere like more southern, but like it was walking through a neighborhood with its arms up and just walking like behind people's houses and shit. Like I think that from a distance very easily could be like, holy shit, it's fucking Bigfoot.
Nah.
That's the most likely scenario. Was probably a bear. Yeah, or like that's really. And,
or is it a woolly mammoth?
A woolly mammoth. I think the woolly mammoth is coming back. I think they successfully.
Are they gonna breed a woolly mammoth?
Well, I think they successfully isolated its DNA, and they're theorizing that they can impregnate a normal elephant with a woolly mammoth embryo and bring the woolly mammoth back. But like, why? Like I don't know why you would do that.
You spent so much time thinking how you could, but you didn't think is why.
Yeah, it's not if you should
slap it on the lunchbox.
Yeah, it's literally not if you could and should. It's why. Like what would be the purpose of bringing the woolly mammoth back?
Because life finds a way, Steve.
But
bum, bum, bum,
but it didn't. It went extinct. Life found a way to get rid of the woolly mammoth. I don't get it. Like
no. Well, there's.
I think it's one of those things where you're just like, yeah, we cloned a woolly mammoth.
Well, it's one of those things like in the Kamchatka Peninsula, which people only know from Risk. In Russia, there's supposedly living woolly mammoths that are still out there in the wilderness because there's no one who lives out there.
I mean that's believable.
Well, I mean, because there was hypothetically woolly mammoths still. Well, not hypothetically. There were. Well, this all depends on if you believe the pyramids were not built by aliens. But the woolly mammoths were alive.
Unfortunately, a lot of people believe they were built.
Woolly
by
mammoths were alive in Siberia at the time that the pyramids were being built. And they just found out that Neanderthals were still, or Neanderthals, as they say in Europe, were around the same time in the Iberian Peninsula, 3,000 years later than they thought, or earlier.
Yeah, Homo sapiens were fucking them until we murdered them all.
Yeah, murder fuck.
Yeah, that's legit what happened. In case anyone's wondering, Neanderthals don't exist because we murdered them.
No, they also died out.
We killed the shit out of them.
That's what
we killed.
Is
the
that
shit
according
out
to your paleontological archaeological research?
That's the official scientific stance, and I believe the official scientific verbiage is Homo sapiens killed the shit out of Neanderthals.
Ah, okay. No, wait. There's in the Iberian Peninsula you have a higher if you come from the Iberian Peninsula, if your DNA comes from the Iberian Peninsula, you have a higher percentage chance of having Neanderthal DNA.
Yeah, there was crossbreeding, and they they actually found that that horrible racist tendencies are an old tradition, because there was a somewhat recent archaeological find of a Neanderthal human couple, Homo sapien couple, and their children, and they were all murdered.
Yeah. They're fucked.
So there you go.
Did they have sex with them, then murdered them?
Well, I don't think they could determine that, but they definitely were all murdered.
I don't know. I've been watching Mindhunter. They can determine a lot nowadays.
Mindhunter.
He hunts minds.
I saw an advertisement for that, and it looked really dumb.
It's not bad. It's Fincher. So I mean, he's producing it. So it's shot incredibly well. It's kind of boring. I mean, it's not boring to say the word, like, it's like, oh my God, but it's slow, and it's a lot of like in the mind of a serial killer. So what they do is,
well, yeah, because it's Mindhunter.
He's hunting minds. Oh no, who's Mindhunter gonna hunt today?
It's the dumbest.
My wife hates it when I say that.
Who's Mindhunter gonna hunt today?
Yeah. She also hates my obsession with Bigfoot. She thinks it's the dumbest thing in the world. My wife is the biggest atheist on the planet. Like, hardcore, like, she puts like Christopher Hitchens to shame.
That's
like
good.
When it comes to her atheism.
Your wife sounds smart.
So like, well, you know how like an atheist will be like, we'll try and debate. My wife would just be like, no, you're an idiot.
Yeah, that's the proper stance to have.
And she won't.
Debating is pointless.
She won't debate with anybody about it.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. But she's so atheist. Like, when it comes to anything,
Oh.
it's like she is a Bigfoot atheist. Like, she just not
a Baytheist?
She won't even acknowledge the idea that Bigfoot could exist. That's how much of an atheist she is.
No, there's no way. It's just, there's clearly. I believe all of these like cryptid sightings and stuff. I 100% believe that the people who report these things did, if they weren't specifically trying to make money, like the dude who made the Bigfoot feet,
or
like,
the Gimli Patterson footage.
Right. If they weren't specifically trying to scam. Which I'm there are plenty of who are, but usually they have a ulterior motive, like they're trying to make money,
like the Bigfoot hunters on whatever cable shows. Yeah.
I believe people saw something, and I think there's a lot of things that you can see that are really confusing, and like your brain needs to fill in the gaps. So you're just like, oh, I don't know what the fuck it was. It was a giant walking dude, and someone's like, oh, it must be a Bigfoot, and like the snakehead fish. You ever heard of the snakehead fish? There was one, I think, not too long ago. On film, and someone got it walking out of.
Oh yeah.
Like that is fucking terrifying. If you don't know what that is, you're just like, this fish has fucking legs. What is happening? And they look like monsters. Like, that would be fucking terrifying for someone who did not have any idea what it was. That would become a cryptid. Yeah. Easily. You'd be like, yeah, it's a fish with fucking legs.
It's a worm that shoots electricity.
Right. And then the story grows and changes and morphs, and then suddenly, like, relatively like medium-sized fish that can walk on land becomes a large, aggressive, amphibious predator.
So Nessie is not a real to you either.
No, of course not.
What kind of sad world do you live in where you don't want to acknowledge
Nessie's not real?
The Loch Ness monster.
They did radio wave searches of that lake from the end, one end to the other, and there's nothing in that lake. Nessie.
That's just sad.
There's absolutely no possible way any creature of that size would be able to sustain itself with anything growing or living in that lake. Impossible. And unseen for decades. Like, no way.
I believe in the Loch Ness monster.
The only and if like
what about Champy in Lake Champlain?
Champy?
Yeah,
I've never heard of Champy.
Or what about the what's that one in Africa called? Makili Membo.
I've never heard of that one either. But the only plausible explanation for Nessie is there's an interdimensional rift, and a giant creature came out of said rift, was observed, and then was reabsorbed into the rift.
That'd be amazing.
That's the only explanation.
I like this theory. Or what that Bigfoot is? What about that Bigfoot is an alien? He's one of the 3 alien species that visits Earth.
That also a viable explanation, because to make these cryptids in any sort of way viable, they have to not be a natural occurrence. So you have to be like, they're ghosts. They have to be that level.
What if Bigfoot has a genetic adaptation, so it can fade in and out like the predator?
Oh, like a chameleon, like super chameleon?
No, not like a super chameleon, but he has like a predator cloaking
Oh, like
field.
an actual, like he disappears?
Yeah, like dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
I don't think that's physically possible.
We don't know because we can't see him. So how can we tell?
I don't think like physics. I don't think that you could
Physics.
I don't think you could generate
Physics.
I don't think you could organically generate that. I don't know because I mean there's some crazy shit out there like seeing how an octopus can change its skin like into like textures like. I don't know. I don't think that kind of.
There could be a Bigfoot in this apartment right now, and we'd have no idea.
I don't think that level of camouflage is possible. I think you could get close. I think if you had something that had like a lot of properties of like an octopus and a chameleon, you could probably get to the point where like it appears invisible, but an actual like shimmering, like somewhat reflective cloak, I don't think that's biologically possible.
What about cryptoarchaeology?
What's cryptoarchaeology?
It's like archaeology that's kind of like fringe, like people who think that the pyramids were built by aliens. Not necessarily that, but like
that's awful.
The pyramids are like, or the Sphinx is 10,000 years older than it actually appears to be because there's like marks on its body that look like it was from running water. Running water didn't exist.
You can
at the time.
carbon date it.
You can't carbon date rock.
Sure, you can.
Well, maybe, but there's the Bosnian pyramids. You ever hear about that one?
No.
So a bunch of like
I'm about to get upset.
Oh yeah, well maybe not, but a bunch of people in like Bosnia and Serbia and stuff like that believe that during the Ice Age there was a big like warm spot in the former Yugoslavia, on there.
Yugoslavia,
yeah, where people built a shit ton of pyramids, like the Pyramid of the Sun and the Pyramid of the Moon, and like there's like some ancient culture that grew up in the Balkans, and they found a bunch of mountains that have these blocks that some people are like, no, those are naturally occurring. Other people are like, no, they are built, they are chipped out, and this is the Pyramid of the Moon. And that's cryptoarchaeology because it's archaeology that like certain people like. This is true. A lot of people say it's like it's nationalistic.
That's horrible.
Yeah,
not that specific story, but the fact that cryptoarchaeology thing is horrible.
Well, a lot of stuff like out of place objects, they call them oops. The Baghdad Battery, the one you've probably seen this one. It's like on the pyramid. It's like hieroglyphic, and it looks like a big light bulb. And they think it's like, oh, that's the Egyptian had control of light, the Baghdad Battery, which is like they used for electroplating. It was like they had use of electricity.
Yeah, no, there's such a huge disconnect because there's so many thousands of years between us and them. Everything we're doing is guessing. Everything. So like looking at, and you're up. Well, other than like having an actual physical object.
Well, there's guessing, and then there's like we have all of these real. No, there's guessing, and then there's like this. We have all of this evidence here. We don't have anything like super like that says exactly this, but enough of this stuff aligns that this kind of shows us exactly what kind of happened here.
But in the case of say a light bulb,
yeah,
that's you taking what you know and projecting it. Thousands of years behind.
What about the Incan carvings that show the Incan guy flying a spaceship? I've seen enough History Channel documentaries.
I think that was Hindu.
No, there's both.
There's the flying Hindu spaceships.
There's the flying Hindu spaceships with the blue-faced gods or the blue-skinned gods, and then you actually have in the Aztecs you have the dude totally flying a pyramid like a spaceship. I went to the Roswell UFO Museum. And I saw a perfect replica of this sculpture, and I'll tell you, it looks like he's flying a spaceship, Steve.
I think there are so if I were to go like and give this
I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
If I were to give this actual merit, I would say the explanations are as follows. One, it's just something that someone made up. They were just like, oh, I'm going to do this, like how Da Vinci envisioned a helicopter. Many years before that was a viable thing.
Hey, it's a helicopter.
So that's one. Two, it was something that someone was doing, but we're extrapolating like, oh, it's a fucking spaceship when it was actually like him like making some weird ass fucking glider out of rocks and fucking feathers and then falling to his death. Like, that's how you.
I always
that's how that would be explained.
I like to think that the Italians were all these Renaissance people until the invention of cigarettes, and then they just became really lazy.
Yeah,
all right. Just smoked all
That's
the time.
fair enough.
That was
and their long flowing robes just became like white T-shirts and jeans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's American Italians. These are the Italians. They wear very stylish clothes, but they just smoke all the time.
Very good.
That's what I told Pat, like, because Pat was going to Europe. I'm like, watch out for all the smoking, and then he texts me. He's like, "You're right. They smoke here like it's their job."
And the pickpocketing.
And the pickpocketing.
The thing that bothers me, like actually like legit bothers me about cryptids and all that, like all that shit, is like the world is already so diverse and so weird and so interesting and has so much shit to like explore. Like, the fact that people dedicate themselves to just made up bullshit is really frustrating.
I don't think that the Bigfoot's made up.
It's like, why don't you get, like, you want to
Some of us truly believe, Steve.
You want to have weird ass fucking experiences of like bizarre shit. Go to like the deep sea. Like, make that your passion. Become a deep sea researcher. Like, there's creatures down there that glow. Have you seen a devil squid? Like, there's aliens on our planet.
Nah, you go down in the deep sea and it's just like, there's a fish. There's a fish.
Yeah, it's not cool at all that they like glow, or like that there's fish that shoot bioluminescent like
That's
mist.
if you happen to see them. I mean, like, you go to the deep sea, you could see like maybe like 5 feet
you
in
can't
front of
go
you.
there.
I know. Well, exactly. I mean, even in a submarine.
Get into it. Like, get into that research. Like, instead you're sitting fucking with your yarn and your fucking thumbtacks. Going about
Now you're talking.
Going about baby, like you see, it was John F. Kennedy who knew about the Bigfoot, and he was going to reveal to the public. That was the big reveal he had. But he told Hillary.
No, he told
Hillary, and
Hillary sold uranium-1 to Bigfoot.
He told Hillary, and she used the knowledge to assassinate JFK and travel to the future to attempt her presidential bid.
But she was stopped by Donald Trump.
She was stopped by a reptilian who decided to use Donald Trump against her. Yeah.
No one believes that Donald Trump's a reptilian.
No. I said a reptilian who used Donald Trump.
So Paul Ryan is what you're saying.
Right.
Paul
right.
Ryan is one of the reptilians.
Yeah. Well, obviously, so is Mitch McConnell. He's like, his disguise is terrible, too, because he looks like a turtle.
Oh, yeah.
So that like annoys me. It's like, if you're interested in like giant monsters, fucking get into dinosaurs. There were gigantic, horrifying monsters on this planet.
We want to find giant monsters that are still alive.
There aren't any. There's the blue whale.
They've been killed by pollution and man.
There's the blue whale. That's you got. And also our changing atmosphere. You can't have giant insects because there isn't enough
oxygen in the air.
Yeah, you need a shit ton for those big giant guys.
The big giant millipedes.
But as a side effect of global warming, there is more oxygen getting pumped in the air, so things might eventually come back, and humanity might not go extinct before we see giant insects again.
Ooh.
So there's something to look forward to.
We could all enjoy a nice roast cockroach.
Or those fucking, you see those giant fucking scorpion things? The from like the Mesozoic era or some shit. They're like huge ass fucking scorpions. Maybe we can get those going.
We could ride them.
Yes, scorpion jousting. And we'd look like Tusken Raiders because the sun is so so hot. We're just riding on scorpions. There you go. Tusken Raiders are the future of humanity.
I hate them.
And we'll ride single file to hide our numbers.
Yeah.
I hate them.
I hate
them.
Not just the men, but the women and children too. God, I hate those movies. Anyway, that was another pop culture thing that shat on me today, was that the new Star Wars movie is 150 minutes long.
What?
Like 2.5 hours for Star Wars.
A Star Wars movie?
And
Jesus.
And I was trying, like, I was explaining.
There's also porgs.
Yeah, porgs. Well, I'm okay on the porgs. I don't really give a shit about the porgs. It's 150 minutes. Who has 2.5 hours to sit there and watch a goddamn Star Wars movie?
Apparently, it's going to be a lot of nerds.
Oh my god! And I'm trying to complain about this to, some people, and they're all like,
"It's more Star Wars.
Right? It's more Star Wars for me to enjoy." I'm like, "Oh my god!"
The only movies that are allowed to be that long are Lord of the Rings. Period.
I watched Blade Runner, and I was like, "This movie's great." But it's too long. And that movie was beautiful. That movie should win Best Picture this year. And even that was too long. Like, I was just like, I have a broken back. I don't have that much time on this earth. I can't spend 3 hours of my life watching this. I just can't. I can't. But anyway, other stuff. Oh, Necromunda got released. People already complaining about that.
That's good.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Fucking nerds.
Nerds!
they're releasing. I guess Forge World's doing some like Beastman for Necromunda, and people are upset. They're just like, I can't. Unless they put these characters into a compiled book, no one is going to be able to play the game. I'm like, it's fucking Necromunda, guys. Let's just get over it.
Calm down.
Yeah, calm the fuck down. It's like, it's a king of Underhive warfare. We don't need to, like, let's not get upset about this. If Games Workshop's putting out a box set with 2 complete factions in it, let's just enjoy that for right now,
Yeah,
okay?
calm down, sir.
Calm
Please.
down. You know, maybe like Blood Bowl, they did a really good release for it. Like, I know we don't give a shit about Blood Bowl, but they've put out
Great release.
great box sets and everything.
They are supporting that game very well from what I've seen. There's lots of good releases. And the models are all great.
I mean, even Shadespire needs to have a constant release schedule in order for it to be the game that they want it to be. But Necromunda is not going to be a competitive tournament minis game.
Yeah, it's not.
It's going to be I don't feel like playing 40K. I can't paint up enough.
I've got this half-painted Necromunda gang.
Let's play some Necromunda. Okay. And it's got a board and everything, and who gives a shit? It's fucking Necromunda. It's
I don't know, man.
Necromunda was only put out there so that it could piss off Infinity players. You playing Infinity, Steve?
No.
You playing Necromunda.
Playing the Munda.
You're gonna play some Munda.
Play some Munda.
But one thing I actually did like about the release for Necromunda is that the las guns that they gave for the gangers are based off the old Rogue Trader las guns.
Nice.
So they look like the old, like really long, skinny ones, and I was like, that's a nice touch. I appreciate that. You know. Another thing. I think we've gone over. Yeah, we're over. Adepticon. They released the. You can buy tickets for Adepticon now. So I feel really weird because Adepticon was like when the accident happened, like right after Adepticon. So I'm like, God, it's a year from the accident. That's kind of scary, but they're already selling out of everything. I'm like, they just don't make it fun anymore.
I should probably see if they're doing Shadespire.
Oh yeah, they're doing Shadespire. They already announced that they're doing Adepticon Shadespire.
I should get in on that.
Yeah. So you're like, everyone. That's going to be the funny. Well, I don't know. It's a couple months away, so they could have about 2 or 3 more gangs released. It could be interesting to play at least, because now it would just be a variation on one of the 4 that you're playing up against at all times. So
the Skaven should be out before then for sure.
Well, Skaven will be out for sure before then, but I mean, Fire Slayers will probably be out before then.
Yeah.
They might do. I would not doubt every faction getting a warband probably before Adepticon. So you'll probably see Sylvaneth. You'll probably see who are the fucking blimp guys, the Caradon Overlords.
Yeah, there's supposedly going to be another Khorne warband too.
Yeah.
It's going to be
the demons.
Demons.
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt like 3 or 4 more warbands released before Adepticon. Probably at least 2, at most 4 more warbands released. So I mean that would be a pretty decent variation.
Well,
on it.
I also there's the fact that they mentioned like the boards are something you can bring with you.
Yeah.
I think they might do another set.
I don't think they'll do another set anytime soon. I think that will be maybe by Adepticon they'll be announcing that they'll be doing another set, but I don't see there being another box set release.
But yeah, no, I look forward to playing it because I think that'll be a lot of fun. You don't have to haul a lot of shit.
No, you don't. It's a small box.
It'll be good. Yeah, and if you have the GW, there's like a really really small case. They are like their tiny one. The Shadespire shit, all of it fits in there perfectly.
Oh, well, there you go. And they're doing team trivia at Adepticon this year.
You told me, I was like, is it Age of Sigmar lore?
No.
It's not.
You're not even that up to date on Age of
I'm
Sigmar.
not. I would just be interested. I want to hear about Hammerhand.
Vandus! Yeah, I only know the stuff that has audiobooks because that's all I've read so far. But yeah, you have to read or listen to the Hunt for Nagash and the second one after that one, because it's all got Manfred von Karstein in there, and he's so much Castlevania Dracula. Like,
That's
what
awesome.
is a man?
That's good.
It's like, what is my name? My name does not matter. You know, that sort of thing. And Nagash comes in and he's pretty cool.
Sweet.
But so they did 4 audiobooks of it, And at the beginning of each of the audiobooks, they did 4 chapters to the audiobook. Each one's about an hour long. And at the beginning of it is Nagash going like, I have sat here for ages. Spiders have spun webs over my eyes. And it's like, you're just like, okay, Nagash, we get it.
Calm down.
Calm down.
Calm down. You're a giant skeleton.
Yeah, they turned you into a giant Skelebones.
He was always a giant Skelebones.
Yeah, but I mean,
even the old Nagash model with the doofy hat, he was still really big.
I mean, he was like what, like maybe 8-9 foot tall in comparison to like a normal human being.
He was the size of the old GW Giant. He was big.
I guess. I mean,
because the old GW Giant was like way smaller.
Okay, so he's a giant, but now he's like giganto.
Well, yeah. So's the current giant. the current giant model is also huge.
Yeah, I guess they're about the same size. Yeah, but yeah, he's flying with all ghost stuff around.
Oh
him,
yeah.
You know? And you're like, calm down, Nagash. We get it. Even Sigmar is not as...
You're flying around, Souls of the Damned. Yep, got it. You can make skeletons anytime.
Yeah, you're upset. We get it. We get it.
You're really angry and glowing green.
Yeah,
how dare you?
Sigmar's not even like that. Sigmar's just like, hello!
Would you like to have a drink?
Take a hammer!
I can't drink. I don't have a stomach.
Welcome to Azerheim. Here's a hammer. Take your hammer.
Here's your hammer. Here's your stein.
Here's your hammer. Here's your beer glass. Everyone gets a hammer. Where's your hammer? I have an axe.
That's okay. Good enough.
Next time, bring a hammer.
No swords.
No swords.
There's just signs that say no swords everywhere.
Oh, they have swords.
No, axes or hammers. That's it.
That's all they can have.
That's all they get.
All right. Go to Planet Arbitrary. Do you have anything else to talk about before I do the end credits?
Nah.
Go to planetarbitrary.com for your Planet Arbitrary needs. You can find me on Twitter at Planet Arbitrary. You can find Steve at
I'm Command Throw.
Like our Facebook page, /Game Classy Podcast. The best way you can help out the podcast is like, comment, and subscribe on iTunes. You could also like, comment, subscribe onto the YouTube page. You can also listen to the many sister podcasts that have sprung up all of a sudden. Comic Book Logic is back. We're doing Justice League. That'll be out next week or in a couple days. You have Play On Podcast, where Steve and Pat talk about how Battlefront is a terrible game.
We actually didn't get into that because all that stuff broke after we recorded.
It's EA. How fucking stupid do you have to be to like? Of course they're going to gouge you for money.
Oh, but it was like.
Oh no, I get it.
Legendary.
Yeah,
like they reduced everything. So from what I understand, they reduced everything by like 75%. And like I got the new numbers, and it's still absurd.
Well, yeah, it's still absurd because it's EA. They don't care about you. Like this is what you did this to yourselves, gamers. You did this to yourselves. It's eventually it'll all just fall apart like a flan in the cupboard.
I like flan.
Yes. Play On Podcast. Where Steve, you played this new Assassin's Creed yet? The Origins?
No, I have it though.
Yeah,
I did buy it because I'm a fucking sucker for Egyptian shit. So
I'm waiting for the Steam sale. I'm gonna pick that. I gotta pick that up. I gotta pick up the Shadows of Mordor, the new one.
Also, there's apparently an amazing glitch which will probably be patched out by the time I play it. But it spawns animals.
Ooh.
But it puts their
Do they have the red cape?
It spawns animals, and they're framed around a human skeleton.
Oh,
so there's like really weird glitches where like he was like someone found it. There's like a fucking crocodile that has like weird human proportions and is like walking like a person, but it's got the skin mapping of the crocodile. So it's totally weird, and it can happen with any of the animals, but they're the size of what they are supposed to be animal wise. So there's there's one that's like a goat, so it's like a little dude walking around. It's a goat.
I mean, people give Assassin's Creed for like all this shit for like it's wonky stuff, like it's glitches and stuff like that. They're animating an entire world for you people.
I mean, glitches are glitches. They happen. Yeah. But there's levels. Like there was one Assassin's Creed that came out
with
that was
the
like,
eyeballs in the mouth.
That was really bad. Like that's like there's levels of like acceptable. Like, even Grand Theft Auto is a huge game, and like there's some glitches in Grand Theft Auto, but like the level that like sneaks through for Assassin's Creed, some of them is like ludicrous. It's like that's not okay.
I haven't played. I think Unity was the last one I played. Yeah, the French one. I like that one. The American Revolution one, Assassin's Creed 3 was terrible.
The one that I've heard the most people have talked about being really good is the pirate one.
Black Flag, yeah. I like that one.
People really like that one.
That one was just good for being a pirate simulator.
Right.
No one ever wanted to go on land. You just wanted to fight boats. That's
right.
all you wanted to do. You just upgrade the shit out of your ship and blow up other ships, and it was amazing fun. But yeah,
and you could sing sea shanties.
Yes, yeah. There's a shanty button. Let's see. So you got that. You got Weeb Town. which
Yes.
another episode just came out.
Yes, we've transferred over to being a YouTube show now.
Oh, okay. So it's a YubTub show.
Yes. Although our the last episode our audio got fucked up, so you can barely hear us. But but luckily the video is very entertaining because we played a shoot 'em up, Caladrius Blaze, and there's just shit like all over the screen.
And then what's the one that Pat's doing now with the
Deconstructed Daycare.
Deconstructed Daycare with Pat? And
I listened to the first episode. It was pretty funny.
yeah, and it's your sister, right?
Yes.
Yeah, your Steve's sister and her husband talk about kids cartoons.
And the deep they go deep.
They go deep into it.
They go deep.
I don't know what Pat's talking about. Pat only watches Paw Patrol. That's all he watches.
No.
I've watched a bunch of kids stuff, and I'm just like, it's great. I watched DuckTales, all the new DuckTales that they put on Disney. Pretty good. Not as good as the old one.
No, it's not.
Well, the old one, it's like if they took the voice actors from the new one and put them into the old one, it'd be much better.
They also don't, from what I've seen, they don't have the butler, which is totally weird.
Why would they need the butler?
Because he was an integral character.
He was not an integral
He
character.
would drive Scrooge McDuck around.
He did nothing in the original.
Yeah, he drove Scrooge McDuck's
Yeah.
giant fucking limo. Or
Well-
his roll. It was
well,
a
they
limo, it was a
turned-
Rolls Royce.
they turned-
They like fused him with Mrs. Beakley.
Yeah, Mrs. Beakley is now like fucking the fucking Odd Job.
Yeah.
It's just fucking like this crazy butler, like super butler.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And then do they have Gizmo Duck?
Not yet, but they've
Gizmo Duck.
they've hinted at Gizmo Duck being around
Nice.
because they've had Fenton.
I do like Webigail. I like her. I like the new her new characterization. Like
well,
they
it's
made
Kate
her.
McCucci, and she literally does a voice on everything now. So.
Okay. Well, they made her older. Because
yeah.
she was the youngest in the
Yeah.
original, so she was like there was not. The nephews and Webigail are better in the new version.
Oh
than
yeah,
they
because
were
they
in
give
the
them
original.
personalities.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of they were basically MacGuffins
Yeah.
in the original.
Well, I mean,
and I like that Flintheart Glom Gold was immediately like established.
well,
that was
Flintheart's
cool.
was only the villain in like 2 episodes.
the
of
first
original.
episode. I've only seen the first episode.
Well, no, I'm talking in the original series. He was only the villain in
Oh
like
no, he's
2
in a lot of episodes.
No, he's only actually in 2.
He's in the movie for sure.
Yeah, he's in the movie. No, Flintheart's only in
He's
like
got to be in more than 2.
no, it's Flintheart's only in the Beagle
Magic
Boys.
Dispel is in a lot.
She's in a couple, but she also a lot of people remember her because she had a bigger part in.
I love me some Magic Dispel.
She had a bigger part in Darkwing Duck.
Magic Dispel's not in Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, she is. She was part of the Duck the superheroes, all of the Duck superheroes that get together.
Magic Dispel?
Yeah.
I do not remember her being in Darkwing Duck at all.
Watch some of the old episodes. They're bringing back Darkwing Duck in the DuckTales show. He's coming in.
Really?
Yeah, they're gonna do
All right,
Darkwing Duck.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
the new
Well,
Duck
they've-
metaverse,
they've
the
already-
Duckiverse.
Well, they've already talked about Saint Canard, which is from Tailspin, and
oh, we
oh no,
Tailspin.
just Saint Canard is
That's where
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck is.
It's the whatever one they're from Tailspin they've talked about already, which would be
With
amazing.
another tail to spin. So you're telling me that this show is actually just going to become the Disney afternoon?
Which would be amazing.
Dude,
wouldn't
they
it?
could have the Rescue Rangers.
It would be great if Disney. Well, the Rescue Rangers you can't because the Rescue Rangers exist outside of the Duckverse.
But they could bring the Rescue Rangers in.
I don't know because the Rescue Rangers are tiny.
But they could stay tiny because everyone else is normal size. But no scale changes in the Duckverse. So like in a Donald Duck cartoon with Chip and Dale are small. Donald Duck is duck sized. So if you put Chip and Dale into DuckTales, they would still be small.
Well, and because like the girlfriend from the Goofy movie is in the new DuckTales cartoon.
Which girlfriend?
The-
Max's girlfriend or Goofy's girlfriend?
Max's girlfriend.
Okay.
So like she's like a non-speaking. She's like a background character, but I immediately recognized her from the Goofy movie.
The freckles and the red hair,
yeah.
you can't miss it.
So I was like, wait, does this exist in the same universe as the Goofy universe?
So there you go. The Goofy,
But the Goofy universe never referenced anything in DuckTales.
You know what? It's all coming together.
Yeah.
It's all being fused. It's all being merged.
Yeah, but
There's
I will argue about
all of the metaverses are coalescing into one.
because because DuckTales exists in a human universe. Humans don't exist in the Duck universe. So humans,
There's no humans in DuckTales.
no, in Chip and Dale.
Oh, and Chip and Dale's.
Yeah, Chip and Dale has humans.
Are there humans?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen Chip
So
and Dale
that's why
forever.
it's too. It's
Because
like,
I remember their villain was a big fat cat.
Yeah, maybe if like Fenton Crackshell invents like a portal gun that takes him to an alternate universe
There
with
you
Chip
go.
and Dale, I could see that.
Sometimes
some crimes go slipping through the cracks, but these two gumshoes are picking up the slack. There's no case too big, no case too small. When you need help, just call Chip and Dale. Rescue Rangers, Chip and Dale. When there's danger.
They'll find the clues, and they'll find the where's, the why's, the who's.
My daughter hates the fact that I sing the DuckTales theme song every time it comes. And it's not even the original. It's like a newer version with a girl singing it, but it's the same lyrics.
Yeah, life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg.
That's like, she's just like, why do you sing this every time? I'm like, you have to. Once you learn the lyrics to a DuckTales song.
It's true.
Now, the gummy bears do not exist in either universe.
No, they could, but they would have long died off because they were in the Middle Ages.
They could exist in the Chip and Dale universe because there's humans.
Oh, true. Yeah, so that could be a prequel to Chip and Dale.
Yes.
Because, I mean, it's the Middle Ages, so they wouldn't be alive by the time Chip and Dale was there.
In all honesty, I don't think they could do gummy bears because I don't know if they necessarily own the rights to gummy bears anymore, if Disney owns...
I thought it was an original Disney series.
Yeah, but I don't know necessarily because, like, the idea of gummy bears, like, I don't know. Disney's weird about certain shit, right? Because aren't gummy bears technically owned by, like, Haribo or something like that, the candy...
Those are gummy Gummie,
okay,
and the gummy bears are Gummy. Right.
Yeah. But I mean, that would be an amazing fucking show if they did it nowadays. Like, what? Because even back then, like, the mythology that they built around the gummy bear universe was amazing. So.
Okay. In Darkwing Duck, in Like Blunt, Glomgold makes a cameo appearance with the Beagle Boys and Magical Dispel as a bidder for a secret agent list.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. So confirmed, Darkwing Duck, same universe as.
Oh yeah.
DuckTales.
Oh yeah. Well, of course, because dude, it's got a
Launchpad.
Yes. I mean, the Launchpad's a main character.
But the person who the person who used Launchpad never officially confirmed that it was the same universe.
So you're saying that there's two Launchpads existing in multiple universes?
Right. It's a multiverse where one Launchpad goes to work for Scrooge and the other works with Darkwing.
But now that we know that they exist in the same universe.
Yes. So we can say that this is so. The question becomes: is Darkwing
Darkwing Duck
in the old one? Is Darkwing Duck a prequel to DuckTales, or is DuckTales a prequel to Darkwing Duck?
No, Darkwing Duck exists after DuckTales because Launchpad constantly talks about how he used to work for Scrooge McDuck.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. Everyone knew they existed in the same universe. But the question was whether or not Tailspin exists in the same universe as Darkwing Duck. Or as DuckTales.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, but now it is confirmed because they talk about the city that Tailspin takes place in.
Okay.
So we now know that even though Duckburg is a city mostly inhabited by ducks with a few dogs here and there, especially like the Beagle Boys, because we know that dogs are the second-class citizens in Duckburg because it is Duckburg, not Dogburg. So we know all this is happening, that we know that there are other animal cities that exist, as well as Zootopia.
It's true.
Does Zootopia exist in the same universe?
I believe Zootopia is in its own universe.
Oh, okay. So we can't have any Shakira singing in the background.
No Shakira singing. No Judy Hopps showing up in DuckTales. Although that would be a very easy thing to just
it would be
just be like, oh yeah, it's Judy Hopps.
Yeah,
she's a rabbit.
Yeah. Then every animator or every drawer on like not 4chan like DeviantArt would be just like. Scrooge McDuck having sex with Judy Hopps.
The only reason I would say that there would not be a universal crossover or like universal crossover is because animals in Zootopia, while bipedal and sentient, are still the relative sizes of what they were in DuckTales. They're like human sized.
Yeah, I think yeah.
So like it wouldn't make any sense because a duck in Zootopia would be duck size. Yeah. So he'd be like very small.
That's true. Yeah, I guess. And the dogs would be bigger. But Goofy's tall.
But Goofy's not
Pete.
Goofy and Pete aren't Zootopia rules. Zootopia rules are the only animals where they're their appropriate size is Zootopia rules. In DuckTales verse, in the Disney Afternoon
but we don't necessarily know if anything's out of scale because we haven't seen many animals inside the.
They would be because there's tons of different scale constantly in Zootopia. Like there's multiple size doors.
Well, that's only because Zootopia is a city where all animals exist. It's like a free city. But in Duckburg is literally called Duckburg, so it's mostly inhabited by ducks with a few odd creatures here and there.
Well, I mean, but Scrooge's butler is a dog.
No, no, that's in the old DuckTales. This is new DuckTales.
Oh, well.
You see, you're not getting this, Steve. You got to keep up with the trends.
What about gargoyles? Are they in the same universe as gummy bears?
Gargoyles are not.
They could be in the same universe as gummy bears.
Could be. Could be. It's gonna
It
be
could
very-
Chippendales and Gargoyles could have a crossover. That'd be sick. Dun, 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 dun. Dude, I fucking loved Gargoyles as a kid. I thought that show was the fucking shit.
You're a little younger than me. So it was a little bit past my time.
I fucking loved that show.
I mean, it's a great show. The ones that I did catch.
Batman animated series.
Da-na-na-na. Apparently, the new Batman theme is being used in the Justice League movie. The old Batman theme, the '89 one.
Oh, the Keaton one?
Yeah, the Danny Elfman did all the music for the Justice League.
All right. So the music's going to be good.
I
Dun, 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 dun.
haven't heard a music score in a long time that's piqued my interest.
I'm
Thor
trying,
was pretty good, but
trying to think of the last
it
one.
was
that
Mark
really good.
Mothersbaugh, so you can't get that wrong with it. He's the guy from Devo, just in case you're wondering. So anyway,
Whip it.
so Steve, until next time.
Flintheart Glamgold was definitely in more than 2 episodes.
Game Classy.